the whole system, the HPC ecosystem, can be seen around Europe, and what are the possibilities if you want to go beyond the Commodore or even other machines. So please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning or good afternoon, dear scientists, researchers here. I'm speaking about two different things. Today, one is about the European science and technology and innovation ecosystem, and one part of it, the supercomputing ecosystem, and secondly, about the Hungarian future developments of this ecosystem. In the first part, I will speak about this so-called EuroHPC joint undertaking. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this European approach. Anyway, I will give you a few hints because it is very important for the research field. Certainly everybody is aware of the fact that development, technology and science and technology development is going very quickly on, and at the same time, states, countries want to be very successful in the economic progress all over the world. That's why we need to pay much more attention to the need of the modern economies, modern sciences, including technologies. Some 7 years ago, going back to 2017, it turned out that Europe was very much lagging back in the field of supercomputing in comparison with the other areas, with US and the Pacific Rim or Asian area. At the time when data economy was appearing, and I would say that time nobody expected so big jump, so big leapfrog in the field of artificial intelligence. So anyway, these demands all require much more collaboration in between different disciplines, in between different countries, regions, and so on. So the European Union that time decided to go for further for the so-called partnership programs. These partnership programs are the program of partners, the European Union, represented by the European Commission, the member states like Hungary, and if possible, some kind of private sector representatives. Partnership would be institutionalized partnership, co-program partnership, and the European innovation and technology partnership, and certainly co-funded partnership. I have to mention that the very first partnership was the European HPC partnership, that is the EuroHPC joint undertaking on supercomputing, which was established in September 2018, and Hungary is one of the founding members of this partnership. It was renewed in 2021 because of the European funding programs in the next multi-annual financial framework was started in 2021. That's why the renewal was necessary. I could mention one very close partnership. This is the Key Digital Technologies, or sometimes called CHIP Joint Undertaking Partnership, but I won't speak about it. Why we have these partnership programs. These programs want to bring closer the scientists, experts in exchange of their ideas, on one hand. Secondly, bringing them together would result in more effective participation in joint development. But anyway, if we compare the United States or China, how much money, how much financing is spent on latest technologies, we could see that the European spending is lagging back. That's why we need to improve financing, using joint financing and wanting to reach much, much more results. Anyway, the partnership programs would offer faster progress for the European science, innovation, and technology environment. And the final aim is to keep pace with the global competition. EuroHPC, it is an institutional partnership. Its main objective to develop the necessary infrastructure to be globally competitive in the field of HPC, to develop competencies in European environment, but it does not want to stop only at the traditional HPC infrastructure. That's why already we plan funding programs for AI, quantum, and other related research and development actions. At this time, the participants are the European Union. There are 35 participating states. This would show you that it is open not only for the EU member states, but for other regions. And unluckily, so far, we have not so many business partners, but anyway, there are 3 organizations of private companies participating in it. Hungary is a founding member. A very crucial issue is that there is no basic membership fee for being a participating member state. However, it is expected that the member states would take part in different projects, and their commitment to these different projects would do their financing contribution to the project. 50% of the funding is offered by the European Union. As you could see, for 7 years, 7 billion euros coming from the European Union. And it is expected that the participating states would offer also 50%. How much does Hungary offer? Certainly at this moment, nobody requests financial funding from Hungary, but if we will do the Levente system, the cost of the Hungarian financing comes into the financing of the EuroHPC joint undertaking. You could see that there is a small number coming from the member states, and the participating states, as I mentioned, could contribute in financing systems, HPCs, or in-kind financing. And the other thing what I would mention also, that the general control over the operation of the EuroHPC joint undertaking is coming from the governing board. Each participating state is represented in this governing board, and certainly there is an operative control, the operative control of the office of the EuroHPC. So far, Hungary actively participated in the so-called competence center network of the EuroHPC, where 50% of the competence center operation comes from European funding, and the other 50% is our own contribution, the Hungarian. These competence centers organize the European network of competence centers. Then we have a second contribution, and just a couple of presentations we have here. Zoltán Juhász, who knows quite well the Leonardo system established in Bologna University premises with 250 petaflops capacity, where Hungary has an in-kind contribution, which would be full 5 years of full-time researcher job over that. I don't want to speak too much about the EDIC program, and certainly we have a very active participating in the governing board activities. The biggest Hungarian contribution is going to be the Levente, a mid-range 20 petaflops HPC system, which the proposal and the establishment of the system is in progress. Later, I will mention a few words about the Levente system. 5 or 6 years ago, in 2018, in the first 10 biggest HPCs, there were no European Union HPCs. Today, we have 3 of them over there. The Lumi system in Finland, the Leonardo one is Bologna, Italy, and the Mare Nostrum 5, which is in Spain. These are among the 10 most powerful HPCs in the European Union. I would say this is really a success story. I would mention, I compare it with the success story of the European Airbus airplane manufacturing. But as I mentioned, the EuroHPC follows the tech development. That's why today they plan to open new tenders for AI optimized HPCs, quantum HPCs, and so on. What do we get from the Leonardo system? First of all, we develop our own HPCs. But beyond that, we have an access to all of the European HPC systems. You can apply for them if you are not very much satisfied with the capacity of the Hungarian ones. And the EuroHPC does offers quite a lot of funding programs. I am listed over there. I'm not going to read them up, but there are different programs, and direct tendering is offered by them. Then I can go on and speak a little bit about the Hungarian Levente system. Luckily enough, before my presentation, we got some information about the Commander system, so I can save some of my time to do that. But anyway, in 2020, we had a very much undeveloped HPC network in Hungary, or HPC system, with the total capacity of less than half a petaflop. It was distributed everywhere, and all of them were very much outdated that time. At the same time, quite a lot of users and quite a lot of programs were demanding for HPC capacity for quite a lot of different application fields, application and users. I enlisted a few of them. That's why in 4 years ago, the Hungarian government realized this problem and the governmental decision was issued to develop the ecosystem in 2 phases. The first phase was the Commander with 5 petaflops HPC capacity. It's a little bit more this time, but that was the objective. And because at the very beginning, because of financial problems at the very beginning, we could not develop a bigger one. So we decided to develop a second, that would be the Levente system. The Levente system, in the governmental decision, it was mentioned that we should use European funds to build it. That's why we applied for the TIFU, applied for a tender call for hosting entities in the mid-range HPC of 20 petaflops capacity. Unluckily, at this time, I must have mentioned to you that we have some kind of some delay in it. Quite a lot of legal work should be done, and so on and so on. And the Hungarian financial contribution is still under question. Today, we can see suitable HPC sites in Hungary. One is for the Commander HPC site in Debrecen, and the second one is just in this building. On the Commander HPC, I won't speak too much because we got much deeper insight into this system. The Levente application speaks about the second phase of the Hungarian supercomputing infrastructure development with the direct EU funding. That is the mid-range tender application. We applied for it in February 2022, and the positive decision was received in 4 months' time. In June 2022, 2 years have already passed since that time. That's why I mentioned that there is a certain delay in it. At this time, TIFU is negotiating about the so-called hosting agreement. Hosting agreement means that it will be located in Hungary. An important issue about the ownership. As the European contribution is 35%, the European HPC joint undertaking will be the owner of the Levente system up to 35% and 65% of the Hungarian ownership in the first 5 years of operation. After, it goes totally to Hungary, the ownership. That is very important. This is why the EuroHPC was so strictly evaluating the Hungarian tender, and I just want to mention the chapters of the evaluation: the system specification, the total cost, the experience, what the TIFU has, quality of the hosting facility, very strict evaluation of the KFKI Wigner data center, and the offered quality of services. And intentionally, I will not mention too much details about the offered or tendered specification of the Levente system by 2 reasons, or maybe 3 reasons. First of all, 2 years have already passed. The hardware development, software development is very quick. Certainly we want the most updated ones. Secondly, I am not so big expert as, for instance, Zoltan you have before us, so I cannot go into the details of this one. And thirdly, because at this time the KIFU has already started a questionnaire about the usage of about the demand for the Levante system, and certainly later on the more detailed application, more detailed construction specification will be designed after this questionnaire and its results. But one feature of the Levante system I would like to mention. This is the so-called modular HPC. Modular in this meaning does not mean that everyone is modular. But in this case, a module, each one is a special parallel, massively parallel computing node or module in it. And the open modular structure means that the basic HPC can be extended with special modules. Yesterday and today, I learned from you, my friends, that the development of different applications, the requirement for different applications is very different. That's why we may have totally different modules for different kind of application. The modular architecture means that we have some basic modules, probably the traditional HPC. And special modules would be used over there for data analytics, or quantum computing, or AI, and neuromorphic module, and so on and so on. This is a European initiative to create heterogeneous supercomputer systems, and this is all about this one. I have to mention to you that the biggest HPC center in Europe, the Jülich HPC Center with the Eureka HPC, is built just in this principle, and the European Union likes very much when a European basic innovative proposal is used over there. This proposal is done by a German, the modular structure proposal is offered by a German company, that is the Partec. Basically, I enlisted a few of the different application areas where we can use this kind of the Levante system. I need to mention that in 2022, we had the Innovation and Technology Ministry, where research and development, technology, economic responsibilities were together. This time, you could ask me that what do I want here among yourself when the research and development does not belong to the Ministry of National Economy. It does not belong to it, but the ministry is responsible for technology, technological development for the economy, and we are very much eager about the knowledge and technology transfer. That's why the ministry is ready to be among those who contribute to the implementation of the Levante project. A few basic industrial areas where the ministry is so much interested. That's why I mentioned it. And basically, this is all what I wanted to mention to you. If you will have questions, maybe questions will be not very much convenient for a person coming from a ministry, but anyway, I will try to answer to my best. But before going to questions, I would like to give you two of my opinion to the previous questions. There was a question about the commander usage in for academic reasons and industrial or economic reasons. First of all, the commander was financed by the so-called structural funds, which are coming from the European Union, but those structural funds are distributed in Hungary. And those funds would require to use the commander system also for industrial purposes. But there is a second regulation of the European Union. Public money. Public money can be used for industrial purposes, not to destroy the market, the business market, which would say that only 20% of the HPC time could be used for business purposes. So this is the difficulty with the commander usage. The same applies for the Levante. The second question was just about the practical usage of processing EEG signals. As I mentioned to you, EuroHPC is very eager about being useful, efficiently contributing to the European economy and well-being of the European thing. That's why just recently, last week, I heard about it and I read about it, that there was a very, very wide open consultation with the HPC users throughout Europe. And I remember one remark, one general remark coming from the users from Europe, that EEG is such an application where almost real-time answer is needed, because the patient cannot wait in serious cases a week or 2 weeks for being processed with. So that was just a remark. I don't have much more to say about it, but anyway, so such a kind of opinion arrived from the users community.
Okay, thank you very much, István. If I understand well, I know a little bit about the background. Just I want to hear from your side that so those who are joining these large-scale infrastructures like the Commodore or the wannabe Levante can have an access to the other larger machines through this community. So is this true for even an ordinary user from here, like Balint or any of us?
Okay.
You start first.
Yes, it is true.
I just brought up this because I think it's not clear for everybody from the...
Not because we have an HPC. Quite a lot of European countries, member states, don't have real common public HPCs, but they have the right to apply for some kind of machine time in the EuroHPC supercomputing network, because 50% of the financing and 50% of the ownership is European Union's ownership, as European Union is 50, European Union's contribution to HPC development is 50%. So everyone has the right to apply for it. Certainly there are quite a lot of strict rules about application and so on, but everyone can apply to it. If we will have our computers, supercomputers, Commodore and Levante, certainly we may have more rights, but anyway, everyone can have an application to the LUMI system, which is in Finland. It is a development of 10 countries consortium, and it has around 400 petaflops capacity.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to give the practical details on this. So if you want machine time on the Leonardo, you can go to the HPC Center portal. I can't remember the name, portal.hpc.kifu, something like that. And there is an extra project application step that you can actually apply for the Leonardo access. So you can apply for Commodore access, but there's also another application form for the Leonardo. But you have to have production-ready code. The other one, what István said, the LUMI and the others, that's going through the EuroHPC site. So if you go to the EuroHPC homepage, there is a link somewhere for application for machine time. But that's a different kind of evaluation process. Leonardo is probably simpler because we are part of the consortium, so it's a locally evaluated proposal or application.
If you are familiar with the PRACE corporation, which is a much older corporation than HPC joint undertaking, PRACE was responsible for the European supercomputing community program plans and so on and so on. Basically, EuroHPC ordered or with a very close communication with the PRACE, wants to take the practice of this PRACE, how to apply for the European big HPCs. What are the rules? I can look for them, but I don't remember exactly the link to it at this moment.
There is, I think, two types of projects on the EuroHPC. One is the production code, where you have to prove that you have very large problems. The other one is development and testing.
Yeah, that's all.
So that's a shorter one, just testing the system or testing your code. And I think there's continuous evaluation, so you don't have to wait for half a year. It's evaluated in 3 weeks or so. And I'm not sure about this, but maybe there is call for quantum computer access as well. So if anyone's interested in quantum computing, EuroHPC is financing quantum computers now.
Okay, so
Yes,
I think I have to cut the discussion because we have to reach. I have two reasons for this, and let me thank to István first. So, reason one, that we have to get the lunch. Reason two, that the similar kind of rain chain is coming in like 5 minutes. So if we want to make it before, that could be a good point to do. And István will be here for the afternoon, yeah? So you are also here for the rest of the like say, okay, but after lunch you are yeah. Okay, so you can meet him and discuss with him as well. take care when you are going down, because we have a little bit of water on the surfaces. So we don't want to have any accident. So I ask my